We are back again for another little Nicoletta in Yap session. Let's go. Today, I'm just going to jump straight into it. Today we're talking about starting things and not finishing them. Are you the type of person to start a million different projects and never finish them? Well, lucky for you, you stumble across this video. And today I'm going to help you by telling you all the steps you need to take in order to achieve all your dreams, is what I would say if I actually had the solution for that. But I don't think I do. However, we are going to explore the topic today because I am a person who starts things and doesn't finish them, okay? And I was reflecting on this not too long ago. One of my podcast episodes, if you do follow my podcast, well, you will know that it was briefly mentioned in there. But guys, I get this thrill every single time there's like a new beginning, or I think of a new idea, or just thinking of something that I'm going to start gets me so incredibly excited. And I'll give you some examples because you might be able to relate, you might not. I don't know. You might be better than me, okay? But say in my day-to-day life, this is when I realized that, you know what, this might be a real problem, okay? I love playing Sudoku. I love it. It's one of my favorite little pastimes, little hobbies, if you will. And I get so excited when I start a new puzzle. Like the excitement, like I can't explain it. Like I chase the thrill of it, okay? But once things start being a little bit uncomfortable, or like say I get a little bit stuck, okay? Or perhaps I started a new puzzle while I'm eating food or something, and then I finish my food and then I drop it. I have no interest in picking that puzzle up again, ever again. It's finito. It's done. It's in the trash. Okay? I need to start a new one. And I don't know what it is, but it's just who I am as a person. I'm going to be open and transparent with you. Another example I have, I feel like maybe more people can relate to this one, right? Picture this, okay? It's Sunday night. You are feeling incredibly motivated. You're like, tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow, I'm starting my life fresh. I'm starting life again. Tomorrow is going to be a new me. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to make a protein shake. I'm going to have even a smoothie. I'm going to eat all the right things, do all the right things, and I will accomplish my dreams, and I'm going to become the best version of myself. Okay? And now the alarm rings at 5 a.m. And a lot of times we might not wake up, okay? We might just be like, that was hopeful dreaming. That was hopeful dreaming. That's exactly how I feel, okay? That is how I feel in a lot of things, except here's where I actually do think I need to pat myself on the back. Waking up early and doing things, I'm good at that. Like, I'll wake up and be really productive, and then it slowly dies down. Throughout the day, I'm slowly losing that, like, picture perfect idea of me. You know, by the time it's the end of the day, I have eaten 200 grams of sugar. I've eaten a tub of ice cream. I've forgotten who the morning version of me was. And it's easy to, because I start out so motivated. Another example, right? And I guess this ties into this like best version of me idea. I love going to the gym. I will hype myself up so much, okay? I will get my gear, put on the cutest fit, get ready. I'm so motivated. I go to the gym. I start off really, really strong. I do like the best exercises. And by the end of my workout, I'm not in the mood anymore. I've lost the vim. I'm not there. Matter of fact, I want to wrap up this workout quickly so I can get out of here. I don't know why that happens. I don't know the psychology behind it, but actually I've researched it, so we're going to get into that. But prior to me doing the research, I didn't know why that happens. I don't know why I am like that. But I would call myself like a 70 to 80% person. Maybe 80% because that sounds better. I'm like an 80% person. I will do things to like 80% and then drop it. Sometimes a lot less, obviously. Sometimes I'll just do 10%. And the thing about me, like, I will just get so excited to do something that I will often feel frustrated if I can't start straight away. Like, if I have to wait till next morning to do something, I'm mad. I'm annoyed. Because why am I waiting? I want to start right now. Right this second, I want to start on this project. I remember during the pandemic when I really wanted to paint my room, and I saw this like literally idea on TikTok or something. And you know that trend where it was like making triangles on the wall with tape and then like coloring in the triangles all different colors? Yeah. I was so excited to do that I was mad that I had to wait till the next morning to go and buy the paint and do my wall. Like, I get so incredibly frustrated if I can't start things straight away. That's also a con. We're gonna get into the pros and cons as well, okay? But first, let me just tell you another like issue I find. I don't know if it is an issue, right? Say I struggle through something to get to the end. For instance, the Sudoku puzzle. Say I actually go back to it after I've left it to complete it because I'm like, this is the right thing to do. Mentally, I have to put myself through it to build a strong mental power, yada yada. So I will do it. Or say my workout, I was excited at the start, but I will finish it. I'll do it in the end. I don't feel that sense of accomplishment once I finish things. Guys, it's a serious problem. But I hear this from successful people all the time, so I must be a successful person. No, but on a real note, I do struggle to feel good after I did it. Like once I get to the end of it, I don't feel that like happiness or excitement or like that sense of achievement. Like I'm able to pat myself on the back, don't get me wrong, but I pat myself on the back because I know it's the right thing to do versus actually feeling it. When I finish, for literally a Sudoku puzzle, when I finish it, I get excited that I get to start a new one. I don't get excited that I finished one. There's like zero sense of like accomplishment truly. I don't know if this makes sense. Now let's get into the pros and cons of this behavior, of this mentality, of me. Let's get into the pros and cons of my type of personality, okay? Some of the pros that I think are tied to this is that I have no fear of starting projects or things. I'm not the type of person who will sit down and perfect things or wait until I'm perfect at doing something before starting. I'm really good at just starting. And as far as I'm aware, starting is the most difficult thing to do. And I've always been really good at it. Look at this channel, for example. I will just start it and just post whatever. I'll just be myself, and I won't have like a fear or like a seed of doubt in my brain that I'm not good enough at something. I don't really feel that way, I will just start it. If I want to do something, I'll just do it. And there'll be nothing like holding me back. There's a con associated to this, but we're focusing on the pros for now, okay? That's pro number one, and it's probably one of the best pros from this behavior, mentality, personality. Another pro that I think is kind of tied to the first one, but is being very adaptive as a person. Like a failure in something that I started and not completing it won't really faze me. I'm able to get over that very quickly just because I'm excited to move on to the next thing. And I think that's a really good pro because like when I fail at something, sometimes you can get in your head and just like beat yourself up and be like, why haven't you done better? Like you could have done better. I don't really dwell on the past. I don't like living in the past personally. I like to live in this potential future where it's the best version of me starting something new, Yeah, I do think that's a great pro. I don't dwell on the past for very long. And if it is, briefly, I'll be like, this happened. Move on. I feel like there's nothing that would really scare me in that way. I can just overcome things and not live in that misery of a failed attempt at something. And guys, if you've been around here, I've been dabbling in content creation for some time and failed miserably. Not miserably, because I don't see them as failures, but rather than like I had something to learn from them. But also it is a failure because obviously I stopped creating content on different platforms. Like I was on Instagram at one point. I was creating fitness content. Barf. I was also a TikTok content creator for a while. I did enjoy that. But I have my reasons for why I fell out of love, because I fell out of love and fell in love and fell out of love and fell in love again. And you know what I mean? But then I just feel like it didn't really reflect on who I was as a person. I just feel like I wasn't able to be me on there. Hence why I'm here yapping to you. How lucky are you that you get to see this version of Nicoletta picking up content creation yet again? But yeah, I'm not afraid. And I think another pro is that I'm very optimistic. I'm extremely optimistic about new potential adventures, new potential projects, new potential anything. I'm very optimistic about the future, and I think that helps a lot. It helps me stay sane, stay positive. Y'all, if this video is not an example of me doing things that are difficult, that I don't want to do because I was excited when I started recording this video, and then guess what? I have no more storage on my phone, so it only recorded the first 13 minutes of the video, and it didn't record anything else. But here's me doing something hard, okay? I think we left off where we were talking about some of the pros of this behavior, and it was being really optimistic, okay? Another pro of this behavior is that I would say I'm quite creative, okay? It does keep my brain always lurking for something new. It keeps my brain creative, always thinking of new ideas. And I think that's a really good pro. Keeps the creative juices flowing. Now on to the cons of this, which is exhibit A, I feel like is right now happening in real time, not finishing things. That's the biggest con. I will often find myself like starting things and not seeing them to the end. I will jump headfirst into everything, very excited. And because I haven't sat myself down to be like, hey, step 1, 2, 3, think it through a little bit, I will not finish things. I think having like an undeveloped plan of something is a really big con just in general. I think having, not that you have to sit down with yourself and develop like this crazy plan with a bunch of steps and like know how it starts from beginning to end. No, but I do think you have to sit down even for 5 little minutes with yourself and be like, okay, let's see how I can accomplish this. You know, I think that would work a lot better. But me not thinking things through is a big con. Another thing is that I end up with a lot of unfinished projects, and I'll give you an example, okay? During the pandemic, okay, I got really into art. I came back to my love of art and painting, and I was following these painting tutorials, and I started customizing things, okay? I was like customizing shoes, AirPods, stuff like that. I even made a TikTok page for it. I even made an Instagram page for it. Oh my God, I did a lot. But because I was so excited to start things and I was like, this is it. This is my new career. Like I am going to succeed. Hence why I created all these pages and I was like so invested. And then I actually kind of fell out of love with it. The problem, I spent money on these Posca pens. If you don't know what a Posca pen is, it's these markers specifically used to paint on different surfaces. And it's meant to be like the best thing that all these artists are using. And I was like, I am an artist. I too am an artist, so I need to invest in myself, okay? Problem, I didn't continue this. I think I did like 4 or 5 projects and then I left it. And now those Posca pens are collecting dust somewhere. So I need to get those back, actually. Maybe I should sell them. Are they even good? It's been years. But because of that, it's quite a big con, especially if you've invested financially into it. Now, luckily for me, I do check myself. And I think it's because I'm very familiar with who I am and because I'm great at starting things and not finishing them. Because of that, I will not allow myself to invest financially until I'm sure it's something that I really want to do. You know, like I will wait now. If I really want to do something, I will buy like the cheapest equipment. You know, like I'll go to Primark, I'll go to wherever, to Amazon, and buy the cheapest equipment just to make sure that it is something that I do want to invest my time in. Oftentimes, most of the time, I actually don't. It was all a dream. It was all, and then I woke up, basically. That's what it feels like. Another big con of this is that I leave potential on the table. Even in the example of customizing things, right, that I really got into, I think I could have actually been really good at it because I will say so. I am quite creative, as we've already established, but I'm actually quite good at art. I think I'm quite good with my hands in general. And I think I would have been really good at it had I kept it up or kept going. And because I stopped earlier, I definitely left the potential for that on the table. And then I moved on to something else. And I would say that's quite a big con, if you ask me. On to the psychology of this. I didn't come up with this. I did research it because I was curious. I was like, what's happening up here? And basically, the psychology behind it is that the brain loves novelty. It releases dopamine when starting something new. Hence why I'm like always like excited to start something new. We've already kind of talked about this, but there's something happening in the brain to justify why I feel a certain way. And then another thing is that imagination is picture perfect. it. And this is before reality has had a chance to disappoint you yet. Reality is oftentimes disappointing, and pushing yourself past that is the most important thing. And I will get into how you can become that best version of yourself by following these 5 simple, easy steps that I found online on how to finish things. Guys, I agree with some of them. I feel iffy about some of them, and we'll get into it. Step number 1, stop expecting excitement. Excitement leaving isn't a sign to quit, but a sign that I'm making progress. And this is true. Having your little reality check where you're like, actually, yeah, I shouldn't expect excitement to last. I don't know if I do expect excitement. Maybe I do, actually. Because once excitement goes, so do my dreams and hopes, actually. So I think it's a good point, but I do feel like it doesn't really explain how to finish things. Like, what, just be real with yourself? But that's not going to happen. I'm always going to lie to myself. The nighttime version of me is a lot better than the morning version of me. On to step number 2. Fall in love with the middle. Instead of asking, am I still excited? You should ask, am I still committed? And I won't lie, this is actually a good point to a certain extent. I think it kind of ties to the previous point of, being real with yourself and understanding that excitement is not something that's going to last, and recognizing that just because you're not excited, doesn't mean that you should stop doing something. And this is where, your mental fortitude comes in, and aka me finishing this video despite it messing up with me. Step number 3, train your brain to enjoy finishing things. Celebrate small milestones along the way. Now, I do agree with this. I think breaking things up helps a lot, right? Like, break it down into small milestones. But I don't actually necessarily agree with this point in the way that it's made, because it almost sounds like learn how to be excited about finishing things. But I'm not good at that. We've already established that I'm not good at that. However, I think breaking things down into smaller goals is good because it gets you excited about the next step. Think about it. You have a plan, and now you set in place step 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Once I finish step 1, I get to start step 2. Once I finish step 2, I get to start step 3. That's how I see it. That's how I see breaking things down, is keeping my excitement going. Not because stop pat myself on the back for achieving something, but because I'm excited to start something new. Okay, on to step number 4. Don't chase the next idea immediately. Sit yourself down, take a little breather, plan out whatever your idea is. And I've already briefly mentioned this, right? But having a small plan in place will help towards the success of achieving your goals a lot more than having no plan. And not a detailed plan, not a step-by-step, minute-by-minute, section A, B, C, and no. Just have an idea of a plan. Delay acting on what you're doing, basically. And step number 5, lower your standards for done. Done is better than perfect. Right? So I guess it's kind of like, do it even if it's 80%. You're 80%, you did perfect, and then you just wrap things up kind of thing. It's better than not finishing things at all. And that was the 5 steps suggested online. But here's my advice. This is the most important one, obviously. I agree heavily with step number 4 here. That was don't chase the next idea. Having a little breather and a little thunk with yourself is actually key. And this ties well with something else, with the other point that I made about setting smaller goals, because like I said, it helps you be excited for the next thing. And I think learning how to keep yourself excited is the most important thing. That's what we're here to talk about. And my other advice for you is to keep showing up. Keep showing up, keep showing up. And I guess this is kind of ties with the point about changing your definition of done in a way. But for me, for example, right, I said that I'm excited to start going to the gym, right? I'm excited for the day to start, and then I finish 2 exercises and I'm ready to wrap it up. But I'm not going to wrap it up. I'm going to do a 3rd and 4th exercise, even if it's I don't want to do this. Bro, I don't even want to be here right now. Do you know what I mean? I understand that sometimes it's better to just show up than do nothing. Don't get me wrong. There are days mentally when all I'm capable of, mentally, physically, to just show up and just do whatever. But that's not the case most of the time. Most of the time, I can get through the workout. I'm not excited about it anymore. I'm tired. The first 2 exercises, took me out. but I'm gonna finish it anyway because I have to, because I should, and that helps build mental fortitude. It helps become stronger, and that's really important. And you know what? I think with health and fitness in general, I think maybe like breaking things down into day by day is the most important, because this is where that like 80% kind of comes through. Like, say for example, you are excited to be the best version of yourself on a Sunday, and you're great Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday you're not in the mood anymore, right? Instead of seeing it that way, change your outlook to show up for yourself every day. And I think this is what helps me stay so positive in general, like, and as a person, because I see every day as an opportunity to start fresh. I get excited every single day that I'm like, yeah, I get another chance at this. I get another chance to show up for myself, I get another chance at a workout. And by the time the evening comes, I will mess it all up, I'll do whatever, but at least like for 80% of the day, I showed up for myself. For 80% of my workout, I was there and I finished it regardless, and it might not feel like an accomplishment, but I did it, and I'm excited for tomorrow's challenge. And in true Nicoletta fashion, this video had to stop recording yet again, of course, to create even more technical difficulties, but at least we're at the end of the video because I cannot start this all over again. Anyway, as I was saying, trying to finish this video on a positive note, and I always say this on my channel, that we are very lucky to be able to have another chance at every single day. We get one body, okay? We get one chance at this life thing. So what a great opportunity every single day is to be able to start again, be the best version of yourself, show up for yourself every single day, the best that you can. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope maybe you took something from it. Let me know your thoughts and let me know what has helped you to stay on track and finish products. Till next time.